everyone, and welcome to part 3 of our Instagram series, Revamped for 2018. Now, in part 1, we talked about how to log in, how to sign up, and I showed you about what your feed looked like. In part 2, I really dove into those buttons that are at the bottom of Instagram. I showed you how to connect your Facebook, how to connect to your friends, and now we're hitting part 3. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about IGTV and IG stories. So Instagram TV is really very new in 2018. It's sort of like YouTube, but it's in a portrait mode, so you can really watch it on your phone. And IG stories are like the Snapchat of Instagram, is what most people refer to them as. It's where you can post a little snippet about your day. Maybe you can post a quick 10-second video of you and your dog out on a walk, or a picture of what you ate that day. Maybe it's something that you don't want to live on your timeline forever. You just want a little piece of it for today. So let's jump into the last part of our series, Instagram part 3, coming up right now on Crying Cam. Okay, so let's dive into the very last part of our 3-part series on Instagram in 2018. Now, in 2018 really comes in handy for this part of the series. We're talking about Instagram stories and IGTV. So let's talk about Instagram stories first. You see a lot of people at the top of my screen that has their profile picture and it has a little ring around it. This means that they've posted a story. Well, what's the difference between a story and something that you post to your feed? Something you post to your feed is there forever. So it's maybe a picture that you're really proud of. You just want it to exist for a really long time. Something you post to your story is only there for 24 hours. So it disappears after 24 hours. So I'm going to tap Cassie at Fed and Fit, and I'm going to see what she's posted to her story in the last 24 hours. So she's posted some videos of her dogs. So her dog and a couple of schnauzers. And as you can see, there's a little white bar that's kind of ticking across the top. So she has added to her story what looks like maybe 10 or 12 times. Now, I'll show you in just a second how to add something to your story, but she's got some really cute videos of her dogs. Now, if I want to just get out of it, I don't want to watch this anymore, I can tap the X in the top right corner. If I want to skip ahead to the next portion of her story, I just tap the screen. So I'm going to tap, and it skipped ahead to the next part of her video. If I want to send this to somebody, I can tap the little airplane button in the bottom corner, and I can type somebody's name, or like me, I can send it to myself. I can check that little box and hit send, and it's going to send me her story. Maybe it was something really cute, I wanted to see it. Or you can tap those 3 little dots, and if you have something that you find offensive, I absolutely don't find Cassie's dogs offensive, so I'm not going to report her because they're adorable. But if you do find something offensive, you can report it here, and it'll get reported to Instagram. I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to hit the X to get out of Cassie's story. So now there's a lot of different people that I follow that are posting stories up at the top. I can scroll over by putting my phone at the top of the screen in that little area and by pulling to the left. So I can pull and look at different people. Now let's say I want to post my very own story. I'm going to tap the little picture of my icon with the blue plus sign. Or you can also get to this by tapping the camera icon in the top left. But I'm going to tap the one that says KC for Crying Cam with the blue plus sign. Now I'm filming in my office today, so maybe I want to take a picture of some of my camera equipment and my green screen. I just have my phone pointed at that, and what I'm going to do is I am going to tap the white button at the bottom. Now it's taken a photo of my equipment. There's a few different things you can do once you've taken a photo. You can add a little sticker at the top, so maybe I want to add the time or the day. I tapped that little sticker, and maybe I want to say, oh, it's 10:45. And now I want to add some text. I want to say, busy recording today. There is a little A, capital A, little a icon that I can tap. And I'm going to write, busy recording, and put an exclamation point. And now I can touch that with my finger and drag it around, and I can resize it by making it bigger or smaller by pulling my 2 thumbs out or pushing my 2 thumbs in to pinch. So I've pinched it to the right size. Now the other thing that you can do is there's a pen at the top. I can always tap that, and you have a marker option that just looks like a marker. You've got a highlighter that looks a little bit more like a highlighter. You've got a glow pen, So if I tap this, you'll see there's a little bit of a glow around it. You've got an eraser, and I can erase something that I wrote, or you've got something that looks like hearts, and this is really more like chalk than anything. Now I'm going to undo all those things I just did by hitting undo at the top. Undo once, undo twice, undo 3, 4, 5. So it undid everything that I put on my photo. Now I want to put maybe some little glowing hash marks coming out of busy recording. I'm going to tap the one that looks like a little glow stick. I'm going to leave it at white, and I'm just going to kind of put little hash marks here around busy recording, kind of like it's bright. Now all I did for that was touch my thumb to the screen and kind of pull out. I literally just drew on the screen with my finger, and that's how I got those hash marks, and maybe I want to underline it. Now, I'm going to say done at the top. Oh, and sorry, one thing I should mention, you can change the color. So if I wanted to put pink hash marks around it, I can tap the pink at the bottom, and now those are coming out pink. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and hit done. So I've got my photo. If I like the light of it, I can leave it and I can hit your story, which is the plus sign, or I can just save it to my camera roll by hitting the save in the bottom left-hand corner. Or I can check the lighting by taking my finger and swiping across the screen. So I'm going to swipe to the left. So this lighting was called Oslo. It made it a little bit brighter. This lighting is called Lagos. It kind of added maybe a little bit of gray to it. Melbourne, Jakarta. So I'm going to swipe until I get, ooh, I like how it looks in the New York filter. It's a little bit dark. So what I'm going to do is, I like the way this looks. I have my picture, I have my time, I wrote something on the screen, and I'm going to tap the plus sign in your story. And it's going to say now, this is telling me that my stories are going to be archived and I can see them in my profile. So I'm going to say okay there, knowing that I can go look at those later. But what it did was it added a little circle around my photo, my KC in the top left-hand corner. So if I tap that, here you can see my story. So here's the picture we just posted. There is a little bar that's going across the top. I'm going to play that again. So you see that little bar that's going across the top? That's as long as it's going to last on other people's screens when they tap it. So it really only lasts about 5 seconds. They can always re-watch it. Again, I'm going to tap on that KC one more time, and we're re-watching it again. So I can always add that to my highlight reel. Like maybe I want to make a something on my profile that shows all the times that I was video editing. I can do that by tapping the highlight in the bottom right-hand corner. And I can create something called video editing. And now when I click add, that is going to, it's telling me it added it to highlights and I can view it on my profile. So it's a way to save these things more than the 24 hours that they're going to be on your quote unquote story at the top. So if I tap the little guy in the bottom right hand corner, now I see a little category called video editing. Now, as I maybe post pictures of things like this, I can continue to add them to this highlight. So maybe I take another picture in a week of the next video that I'm creating. I can add it to my highlight. So let's go back to Cassie because I saw that she had some fed. So when I look at Cassie's profile, she's got some highlights. She's got one that talks about safer sunscreen. She's got one that talks about her dog, and she's got one that talks about cooking. So if I wanted to just watch those stories of her dog, I could tap the one that has the little paws under it. That's what she named it. And then I can start watching all the stories that she's ever posted of her dog, Gus, who is adorable. So I could, again, tap the screen if I want to get to the next one, or I can click the X at the top if I just want to get out of it. So that is what a highlight does. It just saves your story for longer than the 24 hours that it shows up in the general stories at the top. The very last thing I want to cover is IGTV. Now that's the little picture of the TV icon. It's surrounded by a circle that is kind of the Instagram colors, that yellow to pink, and it's a TV with a little squiggle through it. What's IGTV? IGTV is kind of like YouTube, whereas YouTube goes sideways, IGTV goes up and down. So you can view it better on a phone. It's really for better viewing on your phone. Now what IGTV is any of the channels that you follow, the people that you follow, can sign up to create an IGTV channel. Well, how is this different from stories? Remember, stories are just 5 or 6 seconds. They're little snippets of videos. This is a 2 minute and 45 second, 2 minute and 42 to 41. So it's a little bit longer video. Now I can pull down here at the bottom to the left, and I can see other IGTV videos that some of my accounts have created. So CNET has talked about Gorilla Glass. It looks like they've done a review on it. So if I wanted to watch that review, I could tap on that CNET video. Now, I can look at people that I'm following by clicking on following. I can look at what IGTV channels are popular by clicking on popular. And then I can continue watching the ones I've done in the past. Now, if I wanted to search IGTV for a particular person or a particular video, I could always type it into that search bar, or I could tap the gear to create my very own channel. Maybe I want an IGTV channel. You can create that here. I'm going to hit cancel. And to get out of IGTV, I just tap the screen and I tap the X in the top right-hand corner. All right, we're done with Instagram in 2018. Woohoo! If you liked this video series and you think that it is useful for others, give it a thumbs up below. Leave me a comment if you want to see me train you on something in the future, if you're interested in an app or a device that you want some training on. And as always, if you're interested in seeing my videos as soon as they come out, consider subscribing. It helps me reach more people like you, and it lets you know when I produce more tech training, tips, and tricks videos. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day.